Hey everybody, my name is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com and welcome to another video about learning the program in Ruby. And today we're going to be talking about collections. Every programming language has basic types of collections, meaning ways of putting more than one piece of data into a thing. And generally there's at least two main variations on the same story. There's your standard array, okay? Now, in many newer, or at least oftentimes in interpreted languages, oftentimes there isn't, usually there's like a distinction between an array that has a fixed length as far as it's so many number of items in it versus creating something like an array that is more dynamic. Ruby, Python, there really isn't that much of a distinction. There's arrays. Same thing in JavaScript. An array is going to have as many objects as you want. So for example, let's create an array. So we'll say A is going to be an array now. And arrays, like I would say 90% of the time, are square brackets. And you can just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there we have an array with 8 items. Now the way this works is that if I wanted to print out one of those variables, so if I wanted to print on the screen, let's say the number 3, I put A because I'm pulling up from the A array. But 3, the way each number gets an index that I can call from. And it starts at 0. So technically number 1 is index 0. Number 2 is index 1. So I want to call index 2 because that's where the number 3 is stored. Okay, and actually I don't need semicolons. This is Ruby, not JavaScript. Okay, now if I run that, 3. Nice. Cool. So that's an array. And usually arrays have all sorts of cool methods you can use, okay? That I'll let you research on your own. I think one of the most useful things and exercises to do as a programmer is actually researching, not just knowing the array methods, but the process of seeking them out and practicing them. It'll make you a better programmer because one, you're learning how to use array methods, which I find myself using in pretty much everything I write. And two, it allows you to kind of learn how to look up stuff, to know that, it's not hard to just look up how to do things in any language, because at the end of the day, every language does everything, because no matter what programming language it is, the capabilities of a computer haven't changed. But this is great, but let's say I'm storing names, like remembering the number that I have a certain name stored in or a certain fact stored in gets really difficult. So that's why there's always some sort of container that instead of holding numbers through like a numbered index, it does key value pairs. So think of key as like a title field, and then value is sort of what that value means. So for example, name would be the key, and then Alex Merced would be the value, my name. So these in Ruby, these are called hashes. Okay, so they're called hashes in Ruby. They're called dictionaries in Python, objects in JavaScript, maps in many other languages. Point is key values. The key value container in Ruby are hashes, and basically they work like so. Okay, so we'll say B's are going to be our hash, and instead of using square brackets, we're going to use curly brackets. And it's basically, again, string values. So we're going to say, hey, name is, I use the arrow to say, well, no, don't want the arrow in there. I want it outside of the quotations. So I'm saying the name key has the value of Alex Merced. Also in this hash, the age value has the value of 34. Okay, so there's a basic hash. So in this case, if I wanted to print out a value, I have to put the key. Okay, so I'll put name, and then that should put my name, Alex Merced. Cool. Now that works. Oh, I only printed the string name. Oh, dir. Okay. B. Okay, I have to put B square bracket with the key. There we go. Because it isn't. It's just look. I'm just telling it to print the string name. I have to tell it the name key of what of the B dictionary. So see what I did there? B is the dictionary, and then in the block I put the key. So there we go. I like Merced. Nice. But that's not the most pretty syntax to be using the name. Okay, so there is a feature called symbols where I can do this instead. I can be like, you know what? Instead of name, I can do this name. So I have to put that colon in front of it. And this is another way of naming my variables, which is especially useful for hashes because I don't have to use quotation marks. I can just be like name, age, and now when I call the variable, I just say name. This type of naming style is called a symbol. And the only thing about symbols, you only can use them once. So now that I have declared the name symbol, I can't do it again. Now the name symbol will always mean Alex Merced for the remainder of the program on this running of the program. So let's just make sure that all works well. There we go, prints the name. So that's essentially how that works. Okay, so that's how arrays and hashes work in Ruby. So you can store all sorts of different information. Um, Enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next video.